Hello, my name's Cara Lee Ford and I'm a potter from Somerset in the UK. This is my studio. Let me show you around. The idea for this series has grown out of the many questions I receive about my own studio, where I spend most of my days, having built my pottery practice and business over the past 10 years. With Shed Light, I will be visiting a small number of potters in their own workspaces and explore how each studio has been shaped, both physically and creatively, by the person who uses it. I'm especially interested in how potters work within constraints such as space, light, and heating, and how these challenges influence their day-to-day practice. And I thought the best place to start was my own studio. It's such a calming space for me. Full of light. It's situated in my garden and I'm surrounded by nature. Originally, I was working from a 6 by 12 foot shed. I soon outgrew that space and needed somewhere purpose-built. This is where it all first started. This is my original studio, which is 6 foot by 12 foot. I had my wheel over here and I had my kiln, my little kiln, which I still have, which is over there. And now I have 2 kilns. But I did everything in here, everything from making, glazing, packing, as well as my kitchen table. Now this is my kiln shed. So I keep all of my glaze making ingredients here, all of my cones, tools, and of course my 2 kilns. But a couple years into my business, I realized that I was soon running out of space. I built my current studio in 2018. I had been a full-time potter for 3 years at that point. We were very much constrained by the size of our garden. Even though it's quite big, we were still limited on square footage. My main studio is 3 by 4 meters. I have 2 wheels, which is great for teaching. I store all of my clay over here. This bench is actually a garden workbench, which is really great because it's got shelves and it's super sturdy. It's also on coasters, so I can wheel it out if I need to. I have a slab roller here, which is great for hand building. And I have my reclaim buckets, which has got all of my waste clay, which gets recycled and turned back into usable clay again. The shelving is purpose-built from reclaimed wood and metal. I found a company on Etsy who make bespoke furniture to order. It's always a bit of a balancing act between choosing more shelving or more windows. My workbench is also reclaimed pine. The legs are reclaimed gas piping. Hardwood would have been better, but I didn't have the budget. I chose a natural, untreated pine finish. The absorbent material of the table means the clay is less likely to stick to its surface, making cleanup easier. I wanted water in my studio, and I made the sink myself. It's such a small space it needed to fit into. It's got a bit chipped from dropping tools on it, so I might need to make another one pretty soon. I made the sink trap from a big plastic box on wheels I got from IKEA. All the glaze and clay materials washed off my hands or tools gets trapped here. I'll empty it every couple of years by scooping out the solids and then drying them out in the sun and disposing of them safely in a bin. I painted the walls with a bathroom paint, so it's wipeable. And I have vinyl flooring, which is super easy to mop clean. I love having plants in my creative space too. It brings me a feeling of lightness and nice energy. I wanted my studio to be filled with as much natural light as possible. It's west facing, so it gets very direct sun in the afternoons. The best time to work during the summer is in the morning, when it's cooler. And when it's very hot, I have to be careful to control the drying of my pottery really carefully. In the winter, I heat my studio with an infrared heater, which is mounted on the ceiling. It heats the object in the room rather than the air, and is actually really helpful for drying out pottery. The studio itself is insulated in the floor and the ceiling. I also use a dehumidifier in the winter. Here in the UK, it's very humid and damp, and my pottery needs a little helping hand sometimes when drying out. I have to work really methodically to make this space work for me, even though I'm very lucky that I have my separate kiln shed. I have a shop update about 4 times a year. So I make in batches. I'll throw, say, 40 mugs, then 40 bowls, and go through the entire making process stage by stage. Trimming, adding handles, and then all the finishing touches later. When the work has dried out to leather hard, I trim everything. When it's fully bone dry, it moves over to be fired in my kilns, which are back in my original shed. Then everything comes back here to be glazed. And then it's back to my kiln shed for one final firing. My work is inspired by the coastline of the southwest of England and the rugged, windswept beaches of the Devon coast, where I grew up, collecting textures and colours in the landscapes of my childhood. So it's really important to me to be close to nature. I adore my studio. It really is an oasis of calm. Working here never truly feels like work. If I could change anything, I think I would probably want more space. I'd love to be able to teach bigger groups, but unfortunately, I can only fit about 2 people in here, as well as me, at any one time. I hope you enjoyed looking around my studio. Subscribe to my channel and join me for the next installment of Shedlight, where I will be visiting another potter somewhere in the UK to talk to them about their working space and how that shapes them as a person and as a potter. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!